while en route to boot camp, 1943. My military roots run very, very deep. Yeah, these are so special. Everyone hears about my mom and my dad, but no one really hears about my great aunt Lydia. She was one of the first female active duty Marines during World War II. I just think she knew that, not necessarily that I would make her proud, but I was at least going to try and do the same things that she did.
It's my favorite story of all time to tell. My mom and my dad got married at 18 years old. And shortly after, my dad joined the Marine Corps out of Navarre Beach, Florida. As years went on, my mom comes home and tells my dad, you know, I think these female Marines are really badass. My dad turns to my mom and says, I will never be married to a female Marine. And naturally, my mom turns around, goes out the door, goes to the recruiter's office, gets an age waiver, and joins the Marine Corps. So at like 4 years old, my earliest memory was watching my mom walk across the parade deck on Paris Island. I had two parents who woke up every single day to do something for the greater good. They were superheroes in my eyes. So there was no surprise about me wanting to join. My two deployments looked very different. The first one, I was purely a maintainer, but to be aircrew, on the second deployment, it will forever be one of the coolest things that I've ever done. My roles and responsibility being on the left gun was always to support my heroes on the ground. Like, that is your job as air crew. And when I started to see more of those guys get hurt and they didn't think they would be coming back, and to know that I was the one that actually got to go help them, I was the one that got to bring them back to their families, it's a different kind of pride. June 23rd, 2012, that time of year, that's when the bad guys come out to play. It was a combat resupply mission. We were headed en route to Forward Operating Base, now ZAD, and then unfortunately, we never landed safely. When my gunnery sergeant and my sergeant major walked in and they saw me laying on this stretcher, that was my first indicator of how bad it was. Like, if he's crying and then my gunny was crying, like, I knew there was a problem. So initially my leg was amputated below the knee, and then later I went through the knee, and then I've had 2 revisions to above the knee. I fought to get better and I fought to overcome my injuries because I was still of the mindset that I was gonna go back to my guys. I ended up having to take the medical retirement, and that's when I got hard. And it wasn't just the leg, it wasn't just the memory. Like, I lost that military career, I lost that purpose. So what was I left to do? On top of that, being raised by 2 Marine parents, you're not weak. You're not gonna be depressed. You don't talk about what happened. You just get up and you get going and you get on with your life. And so when all of that did come to the surface, and it was serious depression, like, I didn't see a way out. And I didn't see a point in living anymore. So I wanted a way out. I didn't think it was worth it for me to try and heal, and I didn't think it was respectable for me to try and put my problems on anybody else. And so that's when I decided that I was gonna try and kill myself. When my dad came to me, when I was in the hospital after the incident, and he came to me and he said, "You've got to be shitting me. You know, the enemy couldn't kill you. You're gonna do it for them." I realized that I really was being weak. It's not weak to reach out. It's not weak to be vulnerable about what's going on. It's not weak to share. I do think of the people we lost, whether I was close to them or not, whether they were total strangers and I just heard the story, or I think about their families, I think about their kids, I think about their brothers, their parents. If there's one thing I can do with my life, it's to keep honoring them and keep moving forward, and to continue trying to overcome the deep, dark stuff, because there's a lot of people out there who don't have those loved ones anymore. Like, it took me a long time to really heal myself. After we go back to our small towns, we get forced into traditional medicine, traditional therapies, or, I mean, quite frankly, just prescription pills are passed off to us time and time again. And when I finally realized that that just wasn't going to work for me, To be honest, I got lucky. Somebody reached out and was willing to take a shot on me. Somebody was willing to teach me how to snowboard. When I got out and I learned this sport, like, it gave me the whole new confidence that I could go forth and do anything. It inspired me to move forward with my life. And that's when I just had this epiphany. Like, someone took a shot on me. So it's pretty damn selfish of me to not turn around and try and pay that forward. What evolved from it eventually in 2018 was the Kirstie Ennis Foundation. We host recreational therapy clinics for underserved communities, veterans, for differently abled people, and we teach them how to do the things that I do. Whether that's like snowboarding, mountain biking, rock climbing, ice climbing, paddleboarding, all sorts of stuff. We want people to be able to come out and be vulnerable and to heal together. Like, we are humans, we are designed to show up for one another. We might be out of the military, but that doesn't mean the brotherhood, the sisterhood, whatever you want to call it, family, community, goes away. Every kind of athletic event that I do, I have always honored either someone close to me, somebody that I knew, or friends or loved ones. I carry a dog tag, symbolic ones, and I carry them either on every summit or I just carry them to significant places all around the world with the hopes that someone will find that dog tag and we can make sure that people around the world knew who they were and knew how brave they were. Whether we lost them overseas or we lost them as they battled their own demons when we came home, share their story, find the pictures, find the uniforms, find the memories, say their name. Remember everything that they accomplished. To actually be one of the individuals who did step up to put their life on the line for the rest of us. They are looking down at us, so live for them.